FSB Racing. We are live here at Chicagoland tonight in the Aero 88 series, Friday night, FSBRacing.com. Glad you could join us tonight. Big field tonight, folks. I have to scroll the screen down. It shows 30 minus 1 me equals 29. Our largest field of the season by far. And it should be a great show. Unfortunately, my partner, Milt Mintner, will not be able to make it tonight. He has some family obligations to take care of. And have fun tonight, Milt. And hopefully you'll get a chance to listen here. And as we see, the results of qualifying here as happy hour is winding down here at Chicagoland. This is an aftermarket track, Chicagoland SDT 2011. It's a fast track, and it should have some great racing with this big field. It should be a really entertaining race. 303 of Ken Ron is on the pole. And that's a great pole for Ken. Believe his first of the year as well. So let's take a look at these cars here in the running order. There we see Ken and GoPro 303 Balcom Motorsports. And his teammate Mark DeSenza, the 6 car and outside pole. 5 is Sean Johnson, 3rd. Also Balcom Motorsports, top 3 positions. And great run by Ken Hansen, the 9 of Ken Hansen in the 9 Coors Thunderbird. 52 of Rick Johnson. PPG Industries Armor All. Jack Daniels ride of Steve Weber. Skull Bandit TG Reese. Lowenbrow car of Dave Jandry. Here's the 47 of Josh Helliker, the Cheetos Oldsmobile. Derby Don. What can we say about Derby Don except Derby Don? 54 Bill Yarbrough. I don't have Bill's paint yet. Bill, longtime FSB racer, has been away for a little while and now is back, and glad to have him back. And good to see him out here tonight with this great field. As we just keep going down, there's 77 of Pat Rouchet, rookie truck winner. Last night at Kentucky. Good win by Pat there. And there we have the 72 of Mike Pruitt. 060 of Dean Gautreau, LSU Tigers. There's the 98 of Sam Young and the Predator Chevy. Series admin 88 Joe Cutt. And we're about to go green here. So let's blow up the screen and get ready for some racing. And Ken brings them down, and green flag is out, and away we go here at Chicagoland. Big field tonight, man. This should be a great race. You know, I think Ken has a great chance of winning here, so I'm going to go with the 303. I'm going to go with him going from pole to checker. And you see he gets a great start there and leads them out. Long race here. So, as you can see, 107 laps we're going to go. So, no reason, as you see some guys high, getting up high already up on those, up on this banking here. And, oh, and there goes someone for a ride. That's a 77 of Pat Rouchet. He goes up the track into the outside wall. Hard hit for Pat, and caution is out. Caution is out. Wow. That was a wild ride there from Pat. Let's take a look at that and see what happened. Really early in the race here. And There we see Pat there, and I believe the 72 of Mike Pruitt right behind him. Excuse me, the 28 of Steve Garrison. 28 of Steve Garrison. How about that? Steve Garrison making a comeback. Wow. Good to see you back, Steve. But let's see what happened here. As we're gonna have to take a look at this from another angle, of course. And see what happened here. And a little tap by Steve Garrison there sent Pat. Yeah, that sent Pat sliding down the track, and you see he slid right through the grass there, up the banking and into the outside wall. It didn't collect anyone else though. As we go back live, we see some pit stops taking place here. And you see that the several guys have made some pit stops here. And back to the leaders. There's Ken and Mark in the front. Sean and Rick Johnson. Right behind him, there's Ken Hansen, who had a good qualifying, and he's the few laps. Basically, I think we only got in one green flag lap there, so he's holding his position very well. And there's the 53 TG Reese. As we go back through the field, there's looks like the 83 there of Big Cactus, as Milty calls him, Steve Weber. And Lone Brow car Dave Jandry there on the outside. And there's probably there's two of these cars in the field. Unfortunately, when you don't have their paint, they give you a default car, comes out to the same paint. Clearly there's the 54 of Bill Yarbrough, 99 of Pops Markison, and 98 of Sam Young. And there's the 44 of Mark Favret, Jim Scharf. There's 15 of Matt Watkins, 17 of T. Roy, and there's Ed in the 80. Ed Finley in the Air Force colors. As we get further down into the field, there's the 8 of Dino Francesconi, 151 of Guy Petra. There's the 72 of Mike Pruitt, 77 of Pat Richey, who took that little ride down into the grass into the outside wall. And there's a teammate of his, 060 of Dean Gautreau. And Ken Soska in the 07. Ken is another guy that has been here before, left, came back, and now he's back again. A lot of guys do that, and they're always welcome back to give it another go. If you're out a little while, you got to kind of go through the process again, and it's a good thing. Get you back up to speed, and you see the lights are out, so we're about to go back racing here. As we see the lights on the FSB Corvette are out, and the 303 of Ken Ron's going to lead them off here. And we've just completed only just 5 laps, a very early caution. Let's hope what these guys now starting in a single file, that we'll get some good racing here. You got to settle in here. 107 laps now, just a little under or a little over 100 laps now to go when they take this green here. So no reason to fight for position really here at all. And Ken leads them off with the 6 of Mark DeSenza and the 5 of Sean Johnson, all 3 teammates together, 1, 2, 3. That's always a good feeling when you're out in the lead and the guys right behind you are your teammates. And looks like we get fairly good restart as we scroll through the field as Ken drives them down. Here we see the 52 of Rick Johnson and the 9 of Ken Hansen getting up to speed. And there we see some 2 wide racing. The 83 of Steve Weber and 51 of Dave Jandry and the 54 of Bill Yarbrough get by Steve Weber. And now the 98 of Sam Young finds that inside line. You want to be on the inside here. Outside line is slippery. It's a slightly loose setup. It's a pretty good setup, I'd say. It's not as loose as others that I've experienced in this series. But you need to be in that groove there, and you can see the groove there. It's a nice dark area of the track. That's where you want to be. If you get outside of that, you're going to be in trouble. Guys are going to get underneath you and get around you real easily. And there we see now Steve gathered it back in, and 99 of Pops Marguson and 44 of Mark Favorite looking on there. And there we see 15 of Matt Watkins in the Pac-Man car, taking a look on the inside of the 80 of Ed Finley in the Air Force colors. Ed's a teammate of mine, good guy. Matt, of course, one of FSB's greats, and when he's in your mirror, you know who he is. And look a little further back there, we see the 151 of Guy Petra taking a little look on the inside there, Mike Pruitt. And there we see Dean. Looks like Dean is up into the wall there, and looks like we're staying green as well as the rest of the field gets around him. Looks like Dean got up a little high there. Oh, and we have action right in the front as the 303 goes around and hard into the wall, right in front of the entire field. And now sliding down through the grass and into the inside wall. Wow, what a terrible break for the leader. I don't know if there was contact between him and his teammates or not. But caution is out. That's going to help Dean. And there we see the 99 of Pops Marguson got turned around as well. So some melee going on here on lap 11 as the leader, 303 Ken Ron, looked like got turned around by one of his teammates. We'll have to take a look at that. And as we look back on the replay here, you see the 303 gets down into the turn. Okay, no, he just got loose on his own, unfortunately. A little contact there with the 6 car of Mark DeSenza, but all by himself. Just got back end, just came around on him, and around he went, and slight contact there with, like I said, with the 6 car only, it looked like, but not terrible looking damage. But Ken might have some issues there as he's going down pit lane. There we see the leader of the race who assumed it with Ken getting nicked up there. The 6 of Mark DeSenza, as you see, his final tires are going on in service, and away they go as the 303 gets into the pits. And there we also see the 15 of Matt Watkins jumped out. What did Matt Watkins do there? Well, let's take a look at Matt Watkins' pit stop. There we see him come in, getting right side tires. Jacks down and away he goes. So Matt Watkins, a 2-tire stop, brings him up as he ducked in right behind Ken Ron. And now we'll also get to see this pit stop here as Ken was coming in and the guys were coming out. It was mayhem there, and there's contact hard with the 9 of Ken Hansen, who driving through. That's a no-no here at FSB. It looked like Ken Hansen drove through a couple pit stalls there, and contact with 303 of Ken Ron. So got to be careful there. One stall in and one stall out is the motto here at FSB. And yeah, there was some contact there between the 9 and the 303. Insult to injury for Ken Ron, who as leader of the race spun right in front of the entire field. It clipped his teammate, the 6 of Mark DeSenza, who looks okay. No worse for wear for Mark, but unfortunately for Ken, he as he spun down, he got into the inside wall, and then there's some contact there with the 9 car, Ken Hansen. So some work to be done for the 303, unfortunately, as we go through this field here. There we see some guys in front of the field who have not pitted, and that would be the 53 of T.G. Reese and the 77 of Pat Roche, who was involved in that earlier bump and run there by Steve Garrison, who's, to my knowledge, has been away, and this is his first race back. So welcome back, Steve. I do remember him from my first stint here at FSB, and since I've been back, I believe he has not, so good to see him back. And yeah, I do remember the 28 car, so he's back, and we got the 53 and the 77 leading the race, and looks like they will be staying out as the lights on the pace car are out. Lap 15, most guys got 4 tires. Matt Watkins elected to take 2 tires, and we'll see how that pounds out for Matt, as we got 2 guys with old tires, 2 guys with 4 tires, and then Matt Watkins with 2 tires. So a lot of different strategies here. And of course with Pat, and I believe also with TG, when Pat had that yellow come out, he took advantage, of course, got the car right, got 4 tires and fuel, as did, I believe, TG. So TG and Pat on the same kind of strategy, only a few laps again on those tires, so maybe this is worth the risk and getting a quick caution, and you can maintain your track position. As TG leads them down, and we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at Chicagoland FSB Racing Aero 88 series. And TG leads them off, and this will be a telling. Mark DeSenza, a very fast car. Sean Johnson, a very fast driver. Matt Watkins, of course, is Matt Watkins. All 3 of those guys are going to be really testing the no-tire guys of Pat and TG. And as you see, TG got off to a great start. Pat keeping ahead of the leaders, the tire guys right now. But we'll see how long that he can hold them off. And as you can see, not very long, 1 lap, as the 6 and the 5 both ducked down to the inside here of the 77 car. And it looks like they're going to look to get around him with those fresh tires. And this is one of the dangers of not pitting here at FSB. These guys are good, and they're going to take advantage of their fresh rubber. And as you see, the 6 car is able to get around the 77 into the 2nd position. He looks to go after TG now, and as now the 5 and the 15 start taking a look on the inside of the 77 as well. And right here, Pat's just going to have to keep it easy, keep it on the outside, keep up his speed as best he can, and you know, find a spot where the tires will start equalizing for the guys behind him. He'll find a spot and continue, and if he could gain 10 positions, hey, that's a plus 10 gain. That's good to go. Of course, you don't want to get squarely in a brush a wall or cause a caution either. And as you can see, he is now falling back, and got to be careful there as the 54 of Bill Yarbrough gets on the inside of him. 98 lining up, as is the 9, as is the 52. So you can see here's the danger of the strategy when it doesn't work. And Pat falling back, and soon to be out of the top 10, as we got a great battle up front between the 6 and the 53, and TG in the same position now, falling back a little as now the 6, the 5, and the 15 have gotten by TG, and the Mark DeSenza now has assumed the lead of this race with the 5 of Sean Johnson right on his bumper. Teammates 6 and the 5, as were the 303. So good thing. I'm sure Ken's thinking now if he's hopefully Ken's okay. We'll check in on him. But the 6 and the 5 dodged a bullet there when Ken got a little loose. He could have collected everyone there, and he didn't. So they're happy. He's happy, hopefully. And the 15 car, Matt Watkins, with the 2 tires. Looks like the 2-tire strategy for Matt is so far so good. He came out in the 3rd position, of course, with the 2 guys staying out on the tires. That put him in the 5th, but now those guys have fallen back. So Matt Watkins' strategy paying off as the 5 takes a look on the inside of the 6 car, and he does get past him for the lead. And now we got the 98 of Sam Young with a great run, and he's right on the back bumper of Matt Watkins and looking on the outside. Not easy to pass on the outside here at Chicagoland. And great move by Sam Young there. And he's getting right up in the mix. And looks like Sam wants to lead some laps here. And now the 5 of Sean Johnson has led some laps. And we have the caution out. And we'll go back through the field here and see who's slow. Looks like maybe the 8 car. Let's see what happened there. Looks like cars ahead of him may have been involved in something. It looked like there was smoke ahead of him. Let's take a look here. As we're following the leaders there, we see it. There is the culprit. Looks like the 80 car Ed Finley got out of shape. The question now is what happened there. As we take a look at it, we see looks like the 23 of Jim Scharf got onto the apron, slid up into the 80, and Ed went around. And as you see, the 8 car of Dino Francisconi had to take evasive action, and there we see Ed spinning, and Dino coming up on the wreck, turned left hard. Through the grass he went, a little squirrely, got his car under control, and nicely recovered as the caution is out. So good job by Dino there, avoiding any real damage. Got 4 fresh tires, and he's ready to go. Good job, Dino. These guys at FSB are good. That's a good quality drive right there. You know, when you see a guy out of shape there, and you don't want to ram into the back of anyone. And, you know, obviously at your own peril when you take a hard cut like that into the infield grass. But he was able to get onto the brakes as soon as he hit the pavement, and it slowed him down enough. He was able to maintain control of that ride. And good to go. No harm, no foul. Get some fresh tires and keep going. Lots of laps to go. As we see, we're only on lap 23 of 107 as we just start 24. So plenty of time to get back to the front here as the lights on the pace car continue to light up. And there we see Ed Finley, who was involved in that spin, stayed out, led a lap. So despite the issue, Ed keeping his head on and manages to lead a lap and get a point there. So get some mention there. Good job, Ed. But it looks like Ed will be going into the pits to get his service, and that'll leave the 9 car of Ken Hansen in the lead, followed by the 52 of Rick Johnson, the 5 of Sean Johnson, and the 15 of Matt Watkins. And there we see the 6 of Mark DeSenza back in the 8th right now. With the lights still on the pace car, though, once we cross the start-finish line, we'll reset this running order for you. But yeah, some early cautions here at the Chicagoland. It can get a little loose here, but you can see guys have to have a little more patience as getting on the apron there. Jim Scharf got up into Ed, and Ed went around, and then Dino with the evasive action. But Ed did get into the wall there and probably a little damage. But he'll be able to get down pit lane now and beat on that car and get it fixed up. As we look through the field, there we see Ed in pit lane. There we see the 53 of TG Reese entering pit lane and getting down to his stall. TG taking it easy here. Let's see. We can see the work on TG, and it looks like TG has missed his pit, but maybe it's just the camera angle there. There we see Ed getting his service, and there we see TG is off and away, and there we see Ed is off and away. So he remains on the lead lap. There's 26 cars remaining on the lead lap. 47 of Josh Elliker and the 28 of Steve Garrison have retired. And as we go back to our FSB pace car, we see that it is lights out, which means we are going to have green flag racing very shortly. And as you can see right on the bottom of the screen there, the NRT FSB ticker. So thanks to the guys at NRT for working hard with Jim and the other guys here, and really coming up with something that's kind of neat and gives you the constant running order, and it's accurate and keeps you informed. So we appreciate that. And the 9 of Ken Hansen leads off the field with the 52 of Rick Johnson, probably wanting to lead some laps here. Rick's had some tough luck the last couple of races throughout the various series that he runs, and especially there in the Pro Cup. And I know a win in any series is great medicine when you're a little frustrated with what's going on with the racing. But the 9 of Ken Hansen has something to say about it, and Ken continues to lead. And the 5 of Sean Johnson and now the 15 of Matt Watkins has gotten under Rick, who obviously did not take any tires here, and he's paying the price. 9 of Ken Hansen out in the lead has not suffered that price just yet, but the guys are coming on him, and that includes the 5, the 15, and there we see the 6 of Mark DeSenza, and the 51 of Dave Jandry also up in this lead pack now. And it looks like Rick has settled in here behind the 15 of Matt Watkins and right in front of the 6 of Mark DeSenza. But Mark had a fast car so far tonight, and this is some unfamiliar territory for him. As now we see the 5 of Sean Johnson making a move to the inside, and he's going to look to take the lead here from the 9 car. Matt Watkins joining the party. Is he going to make it 3 wide? Matt's going to push the 5, and the 52 of now Rick Johnson taking the opportunistic move, and he's getting down there with Matt Watkins, and they're drafting by the 9 car now, who is stuck on the outside, and the 5, the 15, and now the 52 are all getting by him. And now we see the 6 of Mark DeSenza also going by. So guys who stayed out have been punished both times here, and so that's not the strategy. Not even for maybe 2 laps. I guess if it was a 2-lap dash, you could maybe hold them off, but that'd be about it. So we can see that strategy is not going to work tonight. 2 tires maybe, no tires, forget it. And 5 of Sean Johnson, 15 of Matt Watkins, and a 52 of Rick Johnson now top 3 all together there. And Rick nicely looked like he was fading pretty quickly there right after the start, but he's gathered it back in, and he's tucked in nicely in the draft here. And there is some draft to be played here at Chicagoland. When you're getting in tight, you can definitely get a little lower lap time. And we see the 5, 15, and especially 15 and 52 really nose to tail there. And really getting the benefit of the draft there. 6 and 6 car Mark DeSenza right behind Rick. And as is Dave Jandry and Sam Young. Sam's been racy tonight. And he's right up in the mix there. And there's the 9 of Ken Hansen, who's managed to hang on to the tail end of this lead pack, we'll call it. And that's what you got to do. You got to find your spot once the initial push is by you. And hopefully you can weather the storm now and get another caution so you can pit with the leaders. But there we see the 15 of Matt Watkins out of shape. And he falls back. He falls all the way back. Wow, there's I don't know if he got some help there or if he got out of shape on his own. But 15 of Matt Watkins has been went from basically second to about 9th. And there we see Matt trying to gather it back in behind Ken. And the 5 and now the 52 and the 6 are the top 3, and they continue to battle, though. Great action up front here as the 9 of Ken Hansen takes a look at the inside of Sam. Sam says nothing doing there, and continues to hold the position. Now the 51 of Dave Jandry gets up a little high, and that's opportunity for the 98 and the 9 car, but Dave puts the hammer down and holds him off for the time being. And there's the 6 of Mark DeSenza going around the outside of Rick Johnson. So some great racing here at the front. And now we're looking almost to go 3 wide there. Sam down onto the apron. 52 of Rick Johnson in the middle, and the 51 of Dave Jandry on the outside there. So far, so good. 52 comes out on top of that 3-car parlay. And continues to hold the 3rd position. Some great racing here at the front of the field as the 98 and the 51 continue to battle, and the 52 just out in front of them. And they're not losing any time to the leaders, though, folks. So why not battle? And there's the 15 of Matt Watkins. He seems to have settled back in, and he's right behind the 9 of Ken Hansen, and we see them. They're still getting they're really getting racy here at the front of the field. And as we see the 80 of Ed Finley going a lap down here. So guys got to be careful of the lap cars. As you see, they all get down onto the apron there. No yellow line in this track, so you can't get down there, especially to avoid a slower car. And they've all successfully have done that. And the 6 of Mark DeSenza is still out on top. He's followed by the 5 of Sean Johnson and the 52 of Rick Johnson. And the Johnson and Johnsons are 2nd and 3rd, no relation. And they're battling. And there we see Rick taking a look on the inside of Sean. 51 of Dave Jandry watching this battle take place right in front of him. And he's thinking which guy is going to be the guy to go with, the faster guy. That's who he wants to go with. 9 of Ken Hansen settled in very nicely now. Great job by Ken on the older tires. He's hung on to this draft. He's drove well. He's drove hard. And he's fought to keep up with this lead pack, and he's managed to do it nicely. And 98 of Sam Young and 15 of Matt Watkins have anchored the back of this lead packs right now, with Matt got a little squirrely, and I don't know if that upset the car at all, or what, or if he's now content to just log laps and look to a green flag stop. But there we see the 15 of Matt Watkins, and right behind him the 54 of Bill Yarbrough. He's also joined this lead pack, so Bill has caught the lead pack as they raced. Good job by Bill, and Bill looks fast tonight. And what a great way to get back into the mix of things when you've been away than a big win on a huge field night. Anyone who wins tonight's a well-deserved win. You're going to have to pass a lot of cars to win tonight. And we can see back at the front here, the 6 car continues to lead. The 5 and the 52, and 51 are right behind them. Top 4, and there's the 9, and now there we see the 15 of Matt Watkins getting a little racy now. He's turned the wick up here, and he's leaning on the 9 car of Ken Hansen. Now he looks to the inside of him, and yeah, he pulled that draft, and he's going to use it to his advantage as he gets to the inside of Ken. And best thing for Ken to do is just get in, tuck in right behind him, and keep that position now for as long as you can. And that's what you need to do when you have the older tires. You want to tuck in, use the draft to your advantage, and keep as many positions as you can. And now Matt moves up, but there we see a spinning car right in front of the leaders. Woo! I don't know who that was. But do we have a caution? Oh, no, we're still green. Wow, that car I think spun right in front of Mark, and no, I guess no harm, no foul, no caution, and the 6 car continues to lead, but it really scrambled the field, as I think some guys might have lifted seeing that car spinning, and maybe even anticipating the caution coming out, but it has not. There we see the 060 of Dean Gautreau trying to fight to stay on this lead lap here. But the 6 of Mark DeSenza is driving strong right now, and he's pulled away a little from the rest of the guys. The 5 and the 52 are together now and battling, but Rick is content so far to stay right behind Sean. He hasn't really made any hard moves to take that second position from him, maybe because he can't, or maybe because he's looking again ahead to the green flag stops that should be coming. About 30, maybe 30 laps you can go here. So unfortunately, looking back from the last caution, I think it was around lap 23, 24. So we're still looking maybe 10 laps away from any kind of green flag stop. So still some racing to be had before pit stops. And there we see Dean and the leader of 6, Mark DeSenza. Mark getting a nice toe off of Dean there as they go down the front stretch, and now he ducks inside of him. So Mark taking every advantage he can there to get fast and keep out ahead of the pack. And that's one way to do it. You get a little toe from a car in front of you, shoot down to the inside, and get the pass complete. And that's what Mark was done. You can see he has just a little gap there on the 5 and the 52, and now the 15 of Matt Watkins has also joined this now new lead pack of 4 cars. And then a little separation there to the 51 of Dave Jandry. And now we can see the pack forming back up as the draft keeps guys fast in the back, so the guys in the back can catch up to the guys in the front when they all get lined up. And speaking of lined up, Matt Watkins not wanting to line up as he shoots around the 52 of Rick Johnson. Big fast pass by Matt Watkins, and there we see the 51 and the 54 all able to get by Rick as Rick slides back here. And now the 98 of Sam Young also looking to get to the inside and take a position from Rick. Back to the front there, we see Mark navigating some lap traffic here, the 80 of Ed Finley. And there's, again, the 60 of Dean Gautreau, who's running pretty fast laps with the leaders here. So he's doing what he needs to do to try to stay close to the leader. So if a yellow comes out, maybe he can slip by him and gain that lap back that he's lost at this moment. Remember, FSB, old school NASCAR. No lucky dog, no waiver rounds. Only way you get by if you're a lap down or more is by racing by the leader, and the only way you can do that is by staying close, as we see the 07 there of Ken Soska staying up high as the leaders come by him, and he goes a lap down, and Dean again wants to stay close to the 6 car Mark DeSenza, so in case something happens right here where a guy hits the wall or spins, caution comes out, he might be able to slip by Mark. Mark might allow him to get the lap back, you know, as a sportsmanship thing to do, which is another thing with FSB, the sportsmanship, and knowing how you have to get a lap back. A lot of the guys, if the leader can, and without any, of course, loss of the lead or anything like that, it's a sportsmanship thing to do, and guys often do it. So we'll keep an eye on that as Dean continues to stay right on the back bumper of Mark DeSenza. So Dean's car is fast tonight. Just might have got out of position there or lost a draft, and the draft can make you lose time really quickly here at Chicagoland. And there we see the 15 of Matt Watkins has now assumed the second position. 5 of Sean Johnson in third, and the 51 of Dave Jandry continues to run in fourth. So while the top 3 have swapped positions a couple of times, and some have come and some have gone, Dave Jandry continues rock solid in fourth place. And looking back now through the field, there we see the 108 of Dog Palmer battling with the 23 of Jim Scharf, and the 99 of Pops Marguson. And there we see the 9 car Ken Hansen. Looks like might be coming out of the pits there, so an unscheduled stop for Ken Hansen. A little early, I think, here as we go to lap 55. Although we might be starting to see the early window for these guys. So we'll keep an eye on that, as guys are coming in for the pit stops here. And there we see the 88 of Joe Cutt in. And back to the lead now to see what the leaders will be doing, as we see the 6 car locking up the brakes and the 60 car of Dean Gautreau, who slips around him. So Dean technically on the lead lap now, right in front of the 6 car Mark DeSenza, who had to lock up the brakes, got a little wide there on pit lane. And there we see the 5 and the 98 all battling here now for position, as the 6 car going all the way down pit lane. I believe the second slot, the 303 of Ken Ron, who had some earlier problems, would be loving to pit with him right now, but fortunately will not be able to because he had some problems earlier. But there we see 4 tire stop for Mark DeSenza and the 5 cars, and there we see the 60 of Dean Gautreau making a run off of pit lane, but the 6 car denies him. And now the 98 of Sam Young also got a great run off of pit road there, and they pull away. And now Sam battling Mark as they come around. They're side by side here, as Sam with a bold pit move trying to make the pass early on here as they get up to speed, but Mark DeSenza says no, and caution is out. And I believe Mark was able to hold off Sam, and some guys have been on pit lane here, so this is going to scramble things up, as we see the 52 of Rick Johnson, 17 of T-Roy, and looks like Derby Don's car's bashed in. Let's take another look at Derby's car here. Yes, the back end of Derby's car is bashed in, so let's take a look at what caused the bashing. Well, it looks like Derby's car was already bashed in. Yeah, it looks like Derby's car already had the damage. And there we see that drag race off of pit road there. And we see that it's still green. And as we're scrolling through here, guys are in the pit stalls. Guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Everything's green still. And there we see the the 7 car. Oh, there we see there we got it. I just caught it there. Yes, and that looks like Dean going for a spin there. Let's see what happens as we ride along with Sean Johnson here. We see Dean getting into the corner, and it looked like he just got loose on him. Sean got on the brakes. Oh my! And then Rick Johnson also got clipped there. Guys taking evasive action. Rick is able to get it going. That's what had the caution come out. And I don't know if Rick is done for tonight or not. As we go back live, his car is not showing in the running order at the moment. So that might be not good for Rick Johnson. Let's take a look here at the running order. We see the 52 has retired, so that's a shame. Looked like Dean got loose, and Sean and Rick tried to take evasive action. There was a bump there, and 52 didn't look like he had enough damage to retire, but maybe, you know, he felt that that was it for his night. So unfortunately, Rick Johnson has retired. That leaves 24 cars running. Let's take a look at how many cars are on the lead lap. We see 18 cars still on the lead lap, but now with this pit stop thing that happened here, we're seeing the 15 of Matt Watkins is the leader. We're looking at the 9 car, Ken Hansen, who's showing in 9th place on the tail end of the lead lap. Now, again, old school racing, folks. The caution trapped some guys ahead of the leader on the lead lap, but in front of the pace car. And that's just the way NASCAR used to operate. Don't see it anymore. These guys would get what they call a wave around now, and they'd be able to pass the pace car and join the tail end of the lead lap cars and be on the right side of the leader. But in NASCAR 2003, this is what they did. So basically the 9 of Ken Hansen, and let's we'll scroll through them for you here. The 9 of Ken Hansen, the 151 of Guy Petra. There we see the guy. The 44 of Mark Favorite. The 17 of T-Roy Troy Knoll. 49 Derby Don McCorston. 72 of Mike Pruitt. The 8 of Dino Francisconi. 88 of Joe Cutt. There's Joe Cutt. 16 of Den Francisconi. 99 of Pops Marguson. All those guys are on the lead lap. But there you see the 15 car of Matt Watkins, who is your official leader of the race. And officially second is the 51 of Dave Jandry. Officially third is the 54 of Bill Yarborough. However, the action is going to be here at the front. As we get green flag here, we're going to see some crazy racing here, as the leader is about half middle of the pack with all these cars on the tail end of the lead lap. So we'll see how Matt Watkins handles this as he battles the 99 of Pops Marguson. So basically every time he passes a car ahead of him, he's putting them a lap down now. And the 51 of Dave Jandry, 54 of Bill Yarborough look to go ahead. So these are for lead lap and position in some cases, as we see the whole rest of the lead pack cars led by Matt Watkins. 51, 54, 6, 98. All these guys are also fighting for the lead of the race, on top of guys who are going to be trying to fight to stay on the lead lap here. As we see the 16 of Dan Francisconi is going to be the next in line here to fall into the clutches of Matt Watkins. And but we see some great racing here also from these guys as they battle to put one guy in front of the leader, basically. As you pass one guy, that's one more guy the leader has to pass before he gets to you. So that's what you want to do in this case, and hope for a caution and hope it's not you. And there we see the 44 Mark Favorite trying to keep as many cars in behind him as he can. 151 Guy Petra takes a look at inside the 23 car, who's multiple laps down. So not fighting in this case, as is the 060 Dean Cotreau. There's Dean. We'll have to see how Dean there showing in 10th place. So Dean is showing on the tail end of the lead lap. So great job, Dean. Great job, buddy. And there we see Dean and Ken Hansen, who is your de facto leader. The leader of on the track is Ken Hansen. He is on the tail end of the lead lap, as is Dean, right behind him there. So this is also in the case now where you want to put as much distance as you can between you and Matt Watkins. And we'll scroll back now as we see Dean and Ken try to pull away from people here and pull away from the 151 of Guy Petra, who's one of these also guys in this situation. That's what you got to do. And there we see some racing here as 44 Mark Favorite gets underneath the 23, and 17, 72, and 88, and Derby Don in the 49. They're all looking low now to get underneath the 23 car. And there we see some brotherly love as the 8 and the 16. 8 times 2 is 16. And the 8 and the 16 battle each other. And there's some slippage there as Derby Don takes some evasive action. Got a little out of shape with the 23 car there. And look out, we got to scramble. And there's the leader, Matt Watkins, not wanting to get part of that. That's for sure. Some crazy racing there as the 8 and the 16 battle each other. No love lost between the two brothers there as they see Matt Watkins in their mirror and they don't want him to get by. Then coming off a big win the other night as well in can't even remember what was that, the Sportsman Truck race at Kentucky. Den pulling a checkered flag there from the field. Great win, Dan. Congratulations, bud. Just a marvel. And then winning a race, it's got to be an icing on the cake there. Great win, Dan. Great racing. And there we see the skill as he has pulled away from the 15 of Matt Watkins, who has his hands full with a bunch of actually it looks like a mix of lap down now and lead lap cars as the 8 of Dino slides back now, and he'll be racing the 99 of Pops Margison. That is a battle for position, however, not with the 54 Bill Yarbrough, who is running up in the 6th position. Good job, Bill. So far, so good for Bill. And there we see the 98 of Sam Young, 5 of Sean Johnson, the 51 of Dave Jandry, all battling for the lead here with the 15 and the 6 of Matt Watkins, who continues to be the leader. But we continue to see a bunch of cars ahead of him who have managed to stay on this lead lap, including the 16 of Dan Francisconi, 88 of Joe Cutt, 72 of Mike Pruitt, 17 of T. Roy, 44 of Mark Favorite. There we see the 151 of Guy Petra, also in this pack of tail end cars. And there we see the 80 of Ed Finley, who's several laps down, unfortunately, tonight. But there we see the 060 and the 9 of Ken Hansen, who continue to pace the field And Ken's just hoping that either this cycles all the way around and they can continue to stay on the lead lap and hope for a caution, or a caution does come out, so they'll be able to get their lap back, in essence. Excuse me. But just a great job of driving so far with Ken and Dean there, driving the wheels off their car to keep this lead. And also great job by all these guys so far. And they have, you see a small gap there between Dan and Matt Watkins, who's the leader, because he has his hands full with Mark DeSenza. So as Matt gets in battles with the other leaders, this group of tail enders can pull away and keep that lead lap position. So some interesting stuff going on here at Chicagoland as we complete lap 74 of 107. So we have 33 laps remaining. So plenty of time. We're still going to have to make a green flag stop if this stays green, and it really has a green look to it, doesn't it? And there we see some passing going on of the 88 of, the 88 got a little loose, had to gather it in, and that brings a mix of cars together with Den had to get on the brakes there to get off of Joe Cutt, and that allowed Matt Watkins to take advantage and make up that gap that we talked about. And so now Den and Joe Cutt are officially a lap down as Matt Watkins continues to motor up. And there we see Matt getting on to Mike Pruitt there, try to put him a lap down. So now this with Joe Cutt there getting a little loose on the inside, that's scrambled up some of these tail enders, and now they're lap downers. So you'd always rather be a tail ender than a lap downer. And Matt Watkins gets under the 72, as does the 6 car, as does the 51. Dave Jandry running a great race so far tonight. He's been quiet. He's been in 4th. A lot of the early laps he was in 4th, just motoring around. Now all of a sudden he's in 3rd. And he's right with these two. You throw a blanket over them. And Dave Jandry doing a great job there. Ready to strike in 3rd place. As we go up, we see the 17 of T-Roy is looking to battle Matt Watkins here to stay on the lead lap. Looks like Matt does have the faster car, so I would expect T-Roy, being the sportsman that he is, to give way to the leaders as he does. And there we see the 15 getting underneath him, and now the 6 car looking to join Matt Watkins by Troy as Dave Jandry looks on. He's also trying to get underneath him. You want to get that pass done as quickly as possible. Obviously, as you pass a car, you do lose time. So you want to get that done as quickly as possible. And Dave looking to get in underneath him right here and catch back up to the 6 car. As you can see, the gap has developed now as Dave has not been able to get around the 17. T-Roy running fast laps, so you know he needs to stay in touch with the leaders if he can. And so he's got his agenda, and Dave Jandry also has his. And right now, Dave has lost some time to the 6 and the 15 car, and that's part of racing right there. T-Roy running hard, Dave Jandry running hard, and as you see, these guys all ahead. Now the 44 Mark Favorite falling into the clutches of leader Matt Watkins as he picks them off one by one here. And the 151, the 60, and the 9 are all knowing this. They're watching their screens. They're seeing the lap times. They're seeing the intervals decrease. And like I said, their hope is to stay out in front of him as long as you possibly can, and drive as hard as you can and as clean as you can. That's what you got to do. And right now, Dean feels the heat of Matt Watkins, and I think Dean would like to get around the 9 of Ken Hansen, but in trying to do so, he loosened up the car a little, and now the 151 of Guy Petra takes the position, and that is a battle for position between the 151 and the 60, the 060, and Dean clips the wall there as they get into the tri-oval. Now the 15 of Matt Watkins and the 6 of Mark DeSenza low, 151 of Guy Petra high. The 9 of Ken Hansen remains now the only car on the tail end of the lead lap. So Matt Watkins has picked them all off one by one, and now Ken Hansen is the last victim of Matt's run here to the front, and we'll keep an eye on how that goes. There we see the 9 still out front, but now we see Matt Watkins getting down low, and this is what Matt does. He gets that draft, cuts down low, keeps the wheel cut, powers off the corner nicely, gets a little help from Mark DeSenza, who also went down low to get by Ken, and takes advantage of a little drafting, and away they go. And now the 151 of Guy Petra looking to get by Ken Hansen, and again that is a battle for position as the look like the 51 of Dave Jandry clipped the wall there, and the 151 of Guy Petra is now the leader of the lap down cars as they go by some of the slower cars here. We see Guy battling now with the 44 car, who's also on the same lap as his, as the 15 and the 6 now have broke out a big gap to the 51 car of Dave Jandry, who's now in 3rd place. The 5 of Sean Johnson in 4th, the 98 of Sam Young in 5th still. Sam running a great race, and he's still right there. And right behind them is the 54 of Bill Yarbrough, 53 of T.G. Reese. Rounding out the top 10 and top 8 now lead lap cars as the caution is out. And there we see contact between the 44 and the 60 as they get down to the line, and woo! And the 72 of Mike Pruitt just missed Dean. Woo! So not sure what happened there, but the caution was out, and that contact happened under caution. And there we see the 15 now of Matt Watkins caught up to the pace car. I expect every car to come in, 4 tires and fuel, final stops, lap 87 of 107, inside of 20 laps when we get restarted. And there we see the 15 of Matt Watkins, who again has a bad pit stall. This is just like the Pro Cup, deja vu here. This is deja vu all over again. Mark DeSenza with the preferred pit stall. The 15 of Matt Watkins with not a preferred pit stall. And here we see the battle. There we see Matt Watkins going in. There we see the 6 of Mark DeSenza slowly crawling down pit lane. So we'll follow Matt Watkins because he'll join up with the 6 very shortly here. And we'll see who wins the battle as Matt gets his final service done. Left side tires go on, fuel's in. Matt gets out. He's in the outside lane as he needs to be here. And there we see the 6 of Mark DeSenza, and the battle is won by Mark DeSenza. And there Mark DeSenza taking full advantage of the preferred pit stalls. And he'll lead this field off with about 18, 17 to go as the leader. Great job by Mark DeSenza. Clean stop. Matt Watkins now in 2nd, and I'm sure he's scheming now of ways to get under Mark and take back that lead. And there we see the 5 of Sean Johnson in 3rd, and 54 Bill Yarbrough now in 4th. Sam Young 5th. And we're going to have a host of cars one lap down who will start on the inside of the leaders. So this should be fairly interesting here. Another interesting restart, I would suspect here. As we see the host of the lap down cars going into the pits. We're going to see some quality cars to the inside of the leader here, and the inside is generally the preferred line, so the lap down cars will have the better racing line than the leaders, who will have to stay on the outside through turns 1 and 2. FSB rules here do apply. Stay in your lane, no racing till the backstretch, which means if you're in the outside lane, you stay in your outside lane till you're out of turn 2 and onto the backstretch. If you're on the inside lane, same thing applies. You can't shift lanes. If your lane goes and the other doesn't, you can stay with the guy that's right in front of you. You stay with him and you're good to go. But no changing lanes and no initiating passes before the backstretch. So the inside cars might have a tick of an advantage here over the 6 car Mark DeSenza. So we'll keep an eye on that as pace car lights are still on. We'll take a look at the run-in order here as we complete lap 89 of 107. 6 of Mark DeSenza beat Matt Watkins off a pit lane and has now assumed the lead there. Great job by Mark DeSenza on the great pit stop. 5 of Sean Johnson third. 4th is 54 car Bill Yarbrough. 98 car Sam Young is in 5th. 53 of TG Reese in 6th. Great run by TG. He's kept the car clean and now he's in a position to capitalize. That's how TG won his race, and he's repeating his success right now. Good job, TG. 83 of Steve Webb, running a great race as well, staying out of trouble in 7th. 51 of Dave Jandry fell off a little. Like I said, he was running strong. 4th. He's up to 3rd, and now he's back to 8th. So we'll see if Dave can take advantage of the fresh tires here and get back to the front. And the last car in the lead lap is the 151 of Guy Petra. So Guy Petra was the only car able to hold off Matt Watkins there, and a great job by Guy Petra fighting his way back onto the lead lap. And 9 cars on the lead lap. And there we see a host of cars 1 lap down or more. There we see the 88 of Joe Cutt. Let's see where Joe is. Joe is 1 lap down, as you can see, in 20th place. Now, sometimes what's odd here is the lap down cars may not be in actual running order, but we'll go back and see how this battle shapes up as Mark leads him down to the green flag. Green, green, green. And there we see Joe Cutt and T-Roy on the inside line trying to get up to speed and try to get under Mark and get that lap back, as the 15 of Matt Watkins in 2nd place looks on and seeing what Joe Cutt is going to do and which guy to go with. And there we see Joe even with Matt Watkins as they get into 3. Matt able to power on the outside and dive down to the inside. Nice. Matt Watkins showing some skill there as he gets now to the inside of the 6 car. He wants that lead back instantly. He did not want to lose it on pit lane. He lost it. Now he's getting it back. But Mark has something to say. Battling hard on the outside. Keeping up the momentum, and he's going to get help from his teammate, the 5 of Sean Johnson, as the 15 of Matt Watkins slides in between them. Whoa, that was a tight fit there for Matt Watkins. He didn't want that draft, and he broke it there nicely. He wants to battle the 6 on his own terms, but the 5 car is not going away, and now it's almost a 2 against 1. If Matt Watkins dives to the inside, this 5 of Sean Johnson going to pull up and help the 6 car keep the lead, and Matt's going to have to be a little crafty here and work the bumper a little of Mark DeSenza, which is exactly what he's doing as he tries to take a look on the inside again. Down onto the apron he goes. Now he's to the inside, but Mark keeping that fast momentum of the outside. But as you can see, Mark staying in the dark part of the track as Matt gets a little loose and almost contact, and again stuffs his way in between him and Sean, Mark and Sean, and denies the teammates the 1-2 punch that they would love to have, as we see a huge scramble behind these guys for position and for laps. That's crazy in the back of the field there. As we continue to see the 6 and the 15 now battle away. Some great racing here. Oh, and there's some contact between TG. It looked like TG and maybe Dog and Steve Weber. And there's a 99 of Pops Markison, and we got a caution out. And let's take another look at that real quick, since it's so fresh. It shouldn't take long to rewind here and reset this. There we see the 99 of Pops Markison, who appears to be an innocent bystander in this wreck. It looked like it happened further up in the running order, and there we see whoa, that was a hard hit. Let's take a look at this again, folks. It looks like it's between Dog and TG, but let's see here. They were riding with John Palmer, the Dog, and we'll see what happened here. And looks like Dog got hit from the back there, but it looks like there was contact with TG. And there we see the caution is out already, though, folks. So we'll have to see what caused the caution, and it looks like it's a little further back in the pack here. I think I'm going the wrong way. Sorry about that. Looks further back in the pack. Look at T-Roy. What's he doing? T-Roy went for a crazy ride. There we see him side by side with TG Reese. And just a little contact hard into the wall. And just tumbled. And tumbled. And tumbled all the way down into the apron. T-Roy took a terrible ride. And while that was going on, T-Roy was doing a fireball tumble back up at the front with Dog Palmer, we saw the guys taking a caution and mowing down a little too vigorously there, and there was some contact, and Dog went spinning, and Dog continues to spin, and there we see the 83 of Steve Weber spinning, and the 99 of Pops Markison trapped up against the wall, and some damage there for some cars, and there we see a good look at the Dog. That's why they call him the Dog. Look at that thing. I wouldn't want that thing staring at me in a dark alley. Woo! But Dog took some damage. There we see the FSB Corvette leading the field with the lights on. We're completing lap 98 of 107. So we're going to have an inside 10 lap dash for cash to decide this race. I like it. There we see the 49 of Derby Don beat up. Off night for Derby Don. There we see the 6 of Mark DeSenza, Balcom Motorsports. The 15 of Matt Walk in second, stalking him for these last few laps. There we see the 5 of Sean Johnson, who's been racy all night. 54 of Bill Yarbrough had a great run tonight, and he's trying to come up through the field. 151 now, Guy Petra in 5th place. Guy with the comeback of the night award. Great job, Guy, from a lap down to 5th place. And 98 of Sam Young as we're getting ready to go back green here. Sam Young in 6th. 51 of Dave Jandry 7th. 8th, 53 of T.G. Reese. And 9th, Steve Webb, both involved in that last incident. But let's see if they can get fixed up and back running. There we see the lights of the pace car are out. We are on lap 99. When we take the green flag, we will be at lap 100, which means there are 8 laps remaining in this race, folks. 8 laps to decide the champion of Chicagoland Aero 88 series. There we see the 6 car, Mark DeSenza, and 15 of Matt Watkins. Now, Matt has really pressed Mark right on the drop of the green flag. I suspect he will do that again if Mark slips up. I see Matt Watkins diving to the inside and looking to get side by side with him and get that pass completed as soon as possible, because the 5 of Sean Johnson is the 6's teammate. And as soon as Matt dives to the inside, the 6 is going to try to pull up to the outside and help the 6 and push the 6 with that little extra bump there that the draft gives you. And will that keep the 6 out in front of the 15? We shall see very shortly, as green flag is out and away we go. 6 leads them down into turn 1. Now remember, no passing here at all. They're single file, so spreading out a little like that's fine. There's no initiating any passing. You can see no one do that of the top 4. And there we see now passing is in full effect as Bill Yarbrough dives to the inside of the 5 car, Sean Johnson, who is losing touch here. And this is what Matt Watkins likes to see, because now he's not going to have the help of that teammate. And Matt's going to now be able to really drive hard onto the 6, which is where he is right now. He's right on the back bumper of Mark as they battle down the backstretch here. Matt's coming in a little higher, and now he wants to diamond this corner and get down low. And there you see the move, and Mark covers it so far. And there we see some hard racing right behind the 2 leaders, as the 54 and the 5 continue to battle side by side. But the 5 has help with the 98 and the 51. So 54 is kind of hung out, but he's on the inside preferred line as the 5 fights him off and continues to take that 3rd position. But we see side-by-side racing at the front with the 15 of Matt Watkins down the outside of the 6 car. So they've reversed roles here. Can Matt Watkins make the outside work? And there we see the 5 car diving down to the inside to try to help the 6 car. And Matt Watkins again slicing in between the 2 teammates. But Matt now to the inside of the 6, and now let's see what Sean will do. He'll stay on the outside and try to help his teammate with some draft. And they're side by side as they cross the line here at lap 104 of 107. Side by side racing for the lead, side by side racing for 3rd and 4th. It looks like the pace lap. Matt Watkins finally puts his bumper beyond Mark DeSenza, who immediately comes down to the inside using a little draft he caught off of Matt, dives to the inside of him. And Mark looking to take back the lead. And there's the 98 now of Sam Young up to 3rd. The 51 and everyone is clustered around the leaders as the 6 car looking to take the lead from Matt Watkins. And he has done it. As now Matt looks to go to the inside, there's a little contact. Oh, they gather it back up, and Mark keeps the lead. Matt drifts high from the contact. Now he's under fire from the 98 of Sam Young. His caution is out. Caution is out. This will be the race. And Mark DeSenza crosses the line, and he will win this race, as we do not have a green-white checker here in FSB racing. Oh, what a finish. Shame that it ends under caution here, folks. But the 6 car, Mark DeSenza, what a great fight back from Matt Watkins. Matt fought his way to the front. Mark immediately challenged him to the inside, and he was able to take that victory. Great job by Mark DeSenza. Wow, what a race. What a great finish. 15 of Matt Watkins does come in 2nd. The 98 of Sam Young, who had a glimpse of victory lane for just a brief second there. What a great run by Sam, who just plowed his way through to the leaders. Great job, Sam. And yeah, you don't want to give up just yet here. There's still some laps to complete under caution, as the 51 of Dave Jandry, I believe, will come in fourth. Took the position from the 5 of Sean Johnson. As you saw, it was just 0.03 of a second separated them for that position, that are now locked in as they drive under caution, completing the final lap here. So great win by Mark DeSenza, 15 of Matt Watkins second, 98 of Sam Young third, 51 of Dave Jandry fourth. So Dave restarted eighth, came back fourth. So good job by Dave. 5 of Sean Johnson, in that wild scramble at the end, comes in fifth. 54 of Bill Yarbrough sixth. 151 of Guy Petra seventh. All lead lap cars here. 53 of T.G. Reese and the 83 of Steve Weber. Great job by those two. Only 9 cars on the lead lap out of this huge field, so you know that was some hard racing. And of course, that one caution really scrambled the field. Lead lap leaders, the 44 and 10th. Top 10 for Mark Fravert. Great job by Mark. 108 of John Palmer, who was involved in that little scrap, but kept it together. Great job by the dog, finishing 11th. He's followed by Dino Francisconi in 12th. The 49 of Derby Don finished 13th. 14th, 99 of Pops Margison. 23 of Jim Sharp, 15th, rounding out the top 15. So just a really great finish to this race. Unfortunately, ending under caution, but fortunately for the 6 car, ending in his favor, as you see him get the congrats from his competitors. Well-earned victory by Mark DeSenza. Hard-fought battle with Matt Watkins as he gets his congratulations from the rest of the guys there. I'm sure Matt's disappointed there, but he ran hard, he ran clean. There was just a hint of contact, if any. But Matt fought back hard. He passed clean. He fought Mark tooth and nail to the end there. And great victory for Mark. He'll be very happy and pleased with that. As we see, boys will be boys there in the back there. Derby Don feeling right at home. Mark Everett, a professional, just brings the car home, parks it in the pit stall like he's been there before. There we see some guys on the other side of pit road now. So great win there by Mark DeSenza. Let's wrap it up here at Chicagoland Aero 88 Series. Great race. There we see the final official standings of the race. 6 of Mark DeSenza takes the checkers. Matt Watkins second. Further down after the top 15, there you see Den in 16th. These guys, unfortunately, these lap down cars were fast cars. They just got trapped by that unfortunate timing of the caution flag, and that's what happens sometimes in real racing and sim racing here at FSBRacing.com. You know, a caution can come out, and you know, the guys who are fast cars all of a sudden find themselves trapped a lap down, and you know, it's very hard to get those laps back. So that's what happened to these guys, basically, from Mark all the way through to Mike Pruitt in 17th. Those guys really should be lead lap cars, but they got trapped, and they were unable to get it back as we continue to have some long green runs there. We had some early cautions, and it kind of settled in, and Mark DeSenza took advantage of his good qualifying position and was able to get out ahead of Matt Watkins. Matt battled back, took back the lead, but Mark again came right back, dove to the inside of Matt, and took the victory. So a big win for Mark DeSenza. Great win for Boca Motorsports, who unfortunately we didn't have a chance to talk about tonight, as we kind of took the air right as the race started. Robert Bokum, the leader of the series, and I'll bring up the points here, which was right before the start of this race. There we see the points. Robert Bokum was your leader, but he he got a new computer and having some connection issues. He was not able. He was there trying to get everything to work out, but was not able to get it done. So he'll give up some of that point lead to Derby Don, Sean Johnson, Steve Weber. We see the winner of this was Mark DeSenza, who is down here in 14th, but he'll get the benefit of that win, and that will move him up a little in the standings. But we'll see Derby Don, who finished here in the 13th position. He'll pick up about 30 points there on Robert Bokum, so he's going to make it another race there, which unfortunately, you don't want to gain points on a guy who just can't connect, but that's part of sim racing. Sometimes you can connect, sometimes you have connection issues. But looking at these points, Derby Don will move up, Sean Johnson will move up, Steve Weber, all these guys that were in this race tonight. We see the entire top 10 is going to gain ground on Robert Bokum. So the big winner here would probably be looking at the standings here. And who finished where? Sean Johnson finishing 5th. Sean Johnson finishing 5th. Will get about 40 something points there. So he'll cut his lead basically from 73 to about 40 something. Or 30 something maybe. So Sean will be very happy with that when he looks at it tomorrow or a little later tonight. But a great race, and Mark DeSenza taking the win, and appreciate you guys hanging on and watching. This is FSBRacing.com. Check it out. Go to the website, FSBRacing.com. There's a link there to sign up if you're interested. If not, take a look around the website, see what it's about, look at all the standings and all the stuff that these guys do. We do broadcasting Wednesdays and Friday nights. Friday nights are open to everyone who's a member of FSB and applicants. So it's a time to get out there and show the rest of the league what you got. Wednesday night Pro Cup broadcasts are the cream of the crop here at FSB, and some quality racers and some excellent racing and exciting. So that's what we do here at FSB, and check it out. And I appreciate you watching, and look forward to the next broadcast.